Come, gather round, I'll pick up on our tale of 4 adventurers out blazing on new trail. Now that Kevin's back and Ears is in the know, it's time to scale the beast and take back what it stole. But Chieftain begins to have some doubt, and life's complexities has a great one turnabout. So the in-between bestows a saving grace in the form of answers and Chieftain's real face. Let's see if plants are an improvement to the situation. When crit happens.
So all of you are standing on the back of this big monstrous spine, no longer trapped in a shrinking air bubble, God, but you're now encased, again, as someone put it last time, the Groot ball. Apologies for anyone who hasn't seen Guardians of the Galaxy.
Don't apologize, that's their fault.
That's true. But since last time, this sort of sudden rush of growth has slowed significantly. You guys are now surrounded with this rather pleasant enclosed space of this sort of otherworldly greenery. And the soul, or the seed that Svein sort of punched out at Chieftain, has since grown a casing around it. It's a very familiar sight. It's got a chestnut sort of shape and look to it, only this one is twice the size of the ones you guys got.
Ooh.
And underneath it floats the ethereal...
Dibs.
Well...
No.
I mean, you could, I guess, but I mean, right underneath it is like the sort of the ethereal orc guy. I don't know if he'd appreciate it very much if you took the seed away from him. And then there's just Ghost Kennam, who I assume has just been doing spinning flips for the entire week we've been off.
No, he's just been paused in midair.
Yeah, doing one of those 80s jump cuts where you jump.
Yeah.
Yeah. There
Yep,
we go.
that's how I imagine it.
So that is the scene that we left off in, and at the moment, your new arrival, the Orc Chieftain, hasn't said anything for a couple minutes now. He's kind of looking at all of you with this sort of mixture of a stoic and a blank expression on his face.
Silence befalls the crowd.
That's a good start, guys.
We're all trying to take in the
Which just happened.
everything. Yes.
Okay.
No, we're trying to take it in. Kennam is doing front flips.
Yeah, don't look at me here. Kennam is lost in his own little world at this point.
Oh god.
Lost in his out-of-body experience.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess you all are also
Well-
sort of staring.
Greetings there.
He's quiet for another couple seconds, and then he looks up at you, Svein, as if he just realized you had said something to him, and he says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I did not mean to be rude. I sort of trying to sort through everything." And
Much the same as we are.
Lannon just nods, like, yeah,
So after a minute, he seems to become more comfortable sort of with his body. For the first couple minutes you guys saw this guy, he seemed just a little jittery, sort of kind of his image was sort of like shuddering, like, again, like his face didn't look like he quite knew what was happening, but now he sort of looks like he has been grounded in this reality. And he looks to all of you and he nods and he says, "You've done quite a bit for us. I don't personally recognize any of you, but you've tried to help me and my people, and I want to thank you for that."
You're welcome.
not a problem. You know, killing things, it's kind of a, well, tagline.
Yeah, you want to finish that sentence?
It's like a tagline.
Killing and helping people.
Saving people, killing things, the family business.
He then kind of looks over at you, Kennam, and he says, I am sorry about this state of being you find yourself. I thought it would be a little easier if we were all in the same plane of existence.
Kennam finally stops spinning around and going, "Oh, don't apologize for anything. I am having the time of my life." And he goes back to spinning.
Okay.
Okay, Kennam. Okay.
I don't think we personally have had a proper moment for introductions. That thing did, and you sort of see him make a grimace, and he says, "You, if you would like, can call me Vin. And I believe," and he starts kind of pointing to you one by one, "you are Lannon, Lobe, Svein, and then," he points over to you, Kennam, and he says, "and Kennam, yes?"
Yes.
Correct.
That is right.
Looks at a
Sure.
smudged hand. Kramen? Continue.
So Vin, at this point, Vin isn't floating like Kennam is. He is firmly on the grass, I guess is the best way to put it.
Question
And
mark.
question mark? And he says, "I have to admit, this is all new to me. And you kind of see him rub his head a bit. He says, "I don't mean to impose, but you seem to know a lot about this." And he sort of gestures to the grove you guys are in and the seed that's below him. He's like,
That's where you're wrong, kiddo.
I mean, I don't mean to make assumptions, but it seems you know a lot more about all of this than, well, I did."
Well, we know a little.
There's someone on the outside of this monstrosity that knows quite a bit about it.
At the sound, as you say monstrosity, you sort of see Vin nod alongside. He's like, "That is a good way to put this, yes. Listen, can you tell me anything about this? I'm still sort of having trouble with everything. When that thing and I were in the same headspace, I guess, I've kind of been fighting against this powerful instinct. There's not much I remember. Is there anything you can tell me? I mean, I haven't seen any of my other people or my friends or my family."
Well,
Well,
let's just start by trying to get up and stopping this monstrosity. There's plenty of time for the rest of it.
But I guess what I'm asking is, what is this? How did this happen?
well, it seems to be a giant ooze. An
No shit,
ooze
Sherlock.
that is trying to consume all the peoples around it and assimilate them and make them a part of itself,
Well,
whether they would like this or not.
The general idea is magic oozes. We kind of need to stop this thing before it careens into another city, though. So, if we can move this along.
He says while doing front flips.
Wait, it's rude. Again, Vin still sort of looks a little overwhelmed by everything you're saying. At least to him, you're not making a whole bunch of sense. And he says, "Well, if we stop this, can we undo this?" And he sort of gestures to himself, his sort of incorporeal form.
Can I roll for insight about his corporeal form?
You can. I guess it could also be a Arcana check if anyone else wants to help out with that.
All right, Svein's gonna do the Arcana check.
Neat.
Len's not gonna do the Arcana.
Might
10.
as well.
Everybody's doing
Oh,
Arcana
I also
checks.
got 10.
Nice.
2 10s.
We're 10
Guys, that's a lot of 10s.
buddies.
But
Together
you know,
they
if you
make a
put
20.
9.
I was about to say. Well, okay. Kennam, you're still sort of blown away with the fact that you are also incorporeal. You're actually trying to figure out why you are like this at the moment. That's a little freaky. Holy crap!
What
Lennon,
have
was that?
I?
Lennon rolled a 15 for Arcana.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay,
I
so
guess that
Kennam,
works.
I guess. So Kennam, while you're sort of freaking out, like sort of realizing, hey, I'm not in my body anymore. I'm like a ghost. The rest of you are looking over Vin's form, and you sort of recognize the fact that it looks a lot like the Red Knight that Winslow used against you guys, you know, when he was a dick fighting against
Was?
Down. Semantics. But it's very similar to sort of that essence. And Lobe, kind of like you, especially sort of because you tackled into this essence originally, you know that you can touch it, but kind of like the assumption you made before, like way back in this adventure, when you were trying to figure out if you could sort of bring the oozes back into their orc or Goliath form. To put it how you did, dead is dead.
Oh. Who wants to break it to him?
Another question. Who wants to break it to me?
Hey, Oz.
Oz?
Kennam.
Damn it. I meant Kennam. I'm sorry. You just make so many halflings. God, it's like accidentally saying the name of your ex-girlfriend, your current girlfriend.
I've done that before. It's not a good thing.
Yeah, so anyway, who wants to break it to the chief that his entire everything is dead? Just super duper dead.
Well, it's not Spain.
Like sort of as you all are exchanging looks with each other, you see Vin grow more and more nervous. And then sort of this look of kind of somber realization, and he nods and he says, "No, it's okay. You don't have to say it."
I'm terribly sorry, Chief.
Just,
Am I still connected?
yeah, you're still connected.
Oh, okay.
We're having some slight connection issues, everybody. I blame the storm outside.
That must be it. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, good.
So the Chieftain Vin, kind of goes over to you, Lobe, and he actually holds out his hand to you, as if to shake it, and he says, "Lobe, I appreciate everything you actually tried to do. I know this can't be easy to see, man of your faith. You could imagine how hard it's for me." And his voice sort of cracks up a bit. He says that.
All right, I go to hug him.
Aw. Goes in for the
And I
hug.
tackles him to the ground.
No.
Why not?
Vin actually, he seems to really. It's sort of hard to describe how he reacts to it because, like, on the one hand, he wasn't really expecting that hug. That was a super surprise hug. But it almost seems like he hasn't really had physical contact in quite a bit. So you kind of hugging him, he sort of stiffens up a bit, and then he relaxes, and you kind of see him tearing up a little. But only you, Lobe. You're the only one who sees it somehow in this hug.
Ghost
Some
tears.
corporeal tears.
Yes.
I feel like I need to save that for a potion.
It's like,
Oh my God.
alright, I know we're having this touching moment, but can I get a sample?
Can I get just like a little? So actually, as you're having this sort of touching moment, you, Lobe, and Vin, you feel the ground sort of shake underneath all of your feet,
Oh,
except
shit.
you, Kennam, because you're a ghost. This tremor sort of runs through the foliage. You see leaves shaking. Some of the flowers that were budding, start to fold in on themselves. The vines curl and tighten.
Oh.
And Vin kind of politely sort of pushes away from you, Lobe, and he looks in the direction to where the monster skull would be, so where you guys were headed. And you see that a lot of the leaves are sort of starting to burn. The tips kind of start to blacken and curl and singe, and it's not like the entire inside is catching on fire. You just kind of see this entire west part of the wall blacken.
Like a chemical burn.
Yeah, like a chemical burn. And as this happens, Lannon and Svein, you guys start to hear whispers. And it's really hard to sort of make out what they're saying because there's quite a few of them. You can definitely tell they sound angry and scared and panicked, but to actually make out what they're saying, even with any roll that you think you could make, would be quite impossible. Lobe and Kennam, however, you hear a very familiar chorus of voices. You don't necessarily black out this time, but it's rather overwhelming, just like the sheer assault on your senses. You hear like snippets of conversation, like, where are we? It's so dark. We must survive. Go home, my child. And then sort of like in a universal chorus, you hear every voice screaming at you, avenge us.
Jesus Christ.
And then the voices sort of quell a bit, and looking at Vin, he sort of looks just as frazzled as you, Kennam, and you, Lobe, are. Almost like he just got smacked in the face. And he kind of goes quiet, like he's trying to take in what just happened.
It's time to do the Lord's work.
The knuckle crack was a nice touch.
Yeah. Glad the audio picked that up.
I was going to say, I'm glad that did come through. That was the goal.
If it hadn't, I would have added it in. Don't worry.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you very much.
But Lobe, I kind of assume you're now starting to make the charge forward. Okay. Well,
Lobe's gonna nut up.
All right, nut up or get out. But as you do that, like as you take a couple steps forward, Vin kind of holds out his hand to you, and he turns to all of you, and he says, This is going to sound selfish, but I need you to let me do this.
What you doing?
Yeah, I mean...
Good question.
He gestures kind of to like the blackened patch of growth, and he says, "From now, you can confirm this or not, but up there in that thing's mind, its head, that's my people, isn't it? They're all up there."
I mean, can we confirm or deny?
You can definitely confirm that.
Okay. Solemn nod.
Probably.
And he nods
Yes.
and he says, just now I get this sense that we are on a collision course with Azu on deal.
Also a good bet.
And he nods and he says,
Yes.
I want you, and then he laughs, and he says, I want you to help me, but not here. I want you to go and redirect this thing as far away from Azul Andil as you can. I want to... Kind of tightens his fist a bit, and he says, these are my people, and I want to be able to help them this time.
What's the plan, Chief?
And you sort of see the rest of the foliage start to tear apart at the inside of this ooze, and it's slowly sort of making its way to the surface, the outside, and he gestures out and he says, I need you to help me redirect this monster from completely destroying my city. If you could push it westward, I want to try and see if I could help my people pull away from this thing's instinct, but I don't know if I can by myself. So if you can go out and you can help me.
So, how will we redirect it?
And he smiles and he says, you've gotten this far with your own wits. I trust you'll be able to figure it out.
I mean, we can control the ooze.
Yeah, to that sort of like, I was like, to that, Lannon, the hole that the plants are trying to make sort of squelches up a bit, and it sort of fast deteriorates some of the plant life, and a bunch of more vines kind of shoot out and try and pull it back together, and then kind of looks at you and he says, I don't think that's the case anymore.
Damn.
Privileges have been revoked.
Okay, so yeah, you guys basically have this hole to the outside, and then is gesturing you out. What do you do?
Go for it.
I mean, yeah.
All right, Lobe's going for it.
Yeah. Spain's gonna follow.
All right, cool. Kennam, are you gonna follow?
Kennam needs to go back to his own body first.
Yeah, Kennam's gonna take a look down at his body and look back at you guys and look down at his body and go, well, I can't get in there, so could somebody drag this along or something?
Lannon volunteers.
I kind of got a problem.
And
I'll help you carry that.
okay, so Lannon and Svein, you're kind of going to go pick up Kennam's body.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Kennam, are you not even gonna like try to re-enter your body?
I have a subtle
Assuming that all
feeling
hope
that
is lost.
I'm assuming. Well, Kennam's under the impression that he's either dead or him being out is what's keeping Chieftain out. So either way, it's not ending well for him if he jumps into the body.
Well, all right. I guess that's fair. So Svein, Lannon, you go to pick up Kennam's body, and actually, as you go to do that, you see a bunch of vines sort of block. Like, a lot of them sort of start to make this casing around Kennam, and they are not letting you pick him up.
Chieftain, can I get my body back?
And as you look over to him, now you sort of see this guilt on Chieftain Vin's face, and he shakes his head and he says, I'm sorry, but I need you to stay here. I don't know how you've made this form for me, but I have this feeling if I let you leave, I'll disappear.
Well, thanks for telling me that ahead of time. Wish you could have told me that a little earlier.
Okay, well, this could be a problem. Are you okay with staying here, Kennam?
Well, it doesn't seem I have much of a choice, so...
Well, let me clarify. Something on your body, or something with your body, is giving me a form. Your soul seems to be able to linger as it wills, so this part of you could leave, but your body has to stay here.
Well, I guess let's give it a try, guys. Kennam's gonna try and hop out of the ooze.
We will be needing that body back at some point.
And he nods and looks back sort of to the blackened part of the foliage, and he raises a hand, and it all starts to sort of dissipate into the swirling ash. And you do see that you guys were fairly close to the top of the skull. Like, the back of it is very much visible where you are, and you see the vines start pulling away at the ooze again. So Vin sort of has a pathway up, and he looks at you guys and he says, I truly am thankful for everything you've done. And he starts forward, the chestnut sort of following after him. And you kind of see the vines that were encapsulating Kennam scoop him up, and they're all going up now. And you guys can, I guess technically now you have 2 paths. You can go out, you can follow him up, but yeah, he made it pretty clear he wants to go out.
Svein's gonna go out.
Svein's gonna go out? Cool.
Yeah, I guess Kennam's following.
Alright, cool beans. So everybody's flying out the hole. Excellent.
Oh,
Okay, so here's the thing. While you are walking out, Lobe, I assume you were actually the first one who sort of reaches the door frame of this exit.
Yep.
Yeah, but you suddenly realize that you climbed pretty high up the slime. You're about 40, 50 feet up off the ground.
Ooh.
That's
so
a
I assume
fall.
you kind of come to a stop. The rest of your party, however, I'm sort of interested to see if downward momentum keeps them running. So I need Lannon and I need Svein to make me some fabulous rolls here. Can you guys make me a dex roll? Just a normal casual roll of the dexterities.
No, like acrobatics or anything?
We'll get there.
Oh. Rolled a 7.
Well, that's a 7. Okay.
Would I use my dex save or my dex modifier?
Just normal modifier.
Okay.
Wow, 23. Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a rogue, that's understandable.
Mhm.
I am not
Cory.
as dexterous.
Cory, you're
Okay.
getting quiet.
Oh, okay. I'll speak up. Sorry.
Speak it up. Okay, so Lobe, you're sort of peering off this edge, kind of wondering, how do we get down from here? And then you see Svein come up behind you, and he sort of has the sense to slow down because you've stopped for some obvious reading. Lannon?
Lannon did not see such signals.
Lannon got a little slippery foot, maybe slid a little bit on the ooze, and now he's sort of rocketing down.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
So, hey, Svein and Lobe, can you just roll me a strength save real quick? Let's see if Lannon can knock you off your feet or not.
What is my...
We've got this.
Holy shit.
20.
Hope so.
God, Svein. Oh.
jeez.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
So-
Lord.
So Svein manages to
Well,
kind of
we make
brace.
it down one way or another.
Svein manages to kind of brace himself. Lobe, you kind of stumble a bit, and you're just kind of about to teeter out. I don't know if someone wants to grab him, or you're just gonna kind of watch him drop like a bowling ball.
Svein's gonna grab him.
Okay. I guess make me another strength check so you can hold him up.
Rolls a
And he's a
natural
big-
1.
I was gonna say, and he's a big
Oh.
dude.
Don't. Pretty heavy. He's got a lot of momentum.
He does have a lot.
Seven.
Wow,
Woo!
Svein, Jesus. Okay, so you kind of managed to grab him and pull him back up, and
Gotcha, Lobe.
yeah, so
Thanks.
Good catch. Good catch. But now you're sort of all on the edge, and
Of Floyd?
unfortunately, yeah, the edge of play. And it doesn't seem like Florence is nearby this time. You're not 100% sure where that cart went.
How high up are we?
Like I said, 40 to 50 feet up. And you, again, don't see Florence anywhere. At least in your
Can
current-
you do your rope trick?
Well, I'm kind of low on, actually, no, I'm very low on my spell slots.
And, you know, a body.
Yeah, that too. I also don't have rope.
Okay. I have rope. Is there anything to tie it to?
Even then, I'm not even sure rope trick would work too well, because it stays stationary, and if we're on a moving slime, I mean, it's kind of like holding onto a parachute out the window of a car. Only the parachute ain't gonna be moving.
That's a really funny mental image.
And yeah, and the car doesn't want to assimilate everything.
Yeah, totally.
Don't think
So-
that's gonna work, guys.
Okay, we need to figure something out then. Okay, I have rope. Kennam, do you think you can just float there and?
I mean, I can float there. I don't know about you guys.
Yes,
Uh,
you hold on to the rope. and
Yeah,
we
can
climb
he
down,
interact with anything?
No, can I interact with anything?
Let's find
well,
out.
yeah, I was gonna say, let's
Hold on
find
to
out.
this rope,
I mean-
Kennam.
Yeah,
But-
Kennam's gonna grab the rope.
By extent of logic, Vin was giving Lobe a hug, so I mean, he
Yeah.
should be able to, like use
Touch
things.
things?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
true.
but I'm probably still as strong as I was in my regular body.
Well, I'll
Oh,
say
God.
I'll say this. You do give Kennam the rope, and he can hold this rope. But yeah, you.
Again, still about as strong as I regularly was.
Well,
which
Yeah,
now
is-
you can fly. All right, so fly upward.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, so Kennam, are you just gonna start flying around like Superman?
if you guys want to try and put your faith in me on that one, all right.
So Kennam, you
Guess
okay?
we go there.
So where are you going, Kennam? What you doing? What's the
Everybody,
plan?
hang on.
Oh Jesus, what?
So wait, am I trying? What is the plan here, guys? Am I trying to pick you guys up and take you to the ground, or am I holding you up with
I
you guys?
don't know.
to
Oh wait, I know. What if you tie the rope to something? Maybe
What?
You could make like a zip line.
It's not
I
a bad
get
idea.
you. I get you. Is
So
there
we
like
can
a?
tie-
Yeah, let's see if we can find like a tree on the ground somewhere, because
Yep.
I can get down, but they can't.
Yeah, actually, as you are looking around, sort of to try and find something to anchor to this, you do see a little farther ahead. There is sort of this great big twisting savanna-y tree, but I have to warn you, it is approaching you, but it will also then leave because the slime is still moving. So you have this
Yeah,
small
it's
window of
been-
opportunity.
Yeah, I was
All
gonna
right,
say
so Kennam's gonna grab the rope and fly there as fast as he can to tie it around one end, and then wait for them, like stretch it out as far as he can to get it as close to the slime as possible.
Okay.
Try and get
No,
extra.
okay. No, I'm down. I'm down with this. Okay. So how much rope do you guys have?
I don't know if I have any.
I had 5 feet. My backpack.
I still have 45 feet on me.
Okay, so we have
Alright,
45
that's-
feet.
Yeah, and I have 50. So
Okay,
that's
cool.
maybe-
95 feet.
95 feet. Yeah, that'll be fine. Just fine. Excellent. Okay, so Kennam, you go out, you tie the rope out to this tree, and yeah, you guys now have sort of this makeshift zip line. But again, as I warn you, as the slime continues to move, this tree is going to get closer to you, and then it's going to get far away from you. So you have this minute window of opportunity to get down.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
All right.
Okay, so how are we doing this? Is this like a everyone
Size.
goes out? Okay.
Size.
Yeah, size. All right, that's cool. Okay, so I guess Svein, you're gonna go down first.
All right, here goes.
So what are you using to sort of like zip line down this? Because I seriously doubt you'll have enough time to actually like manually climb all the way down.
No, I'm gonna use one of my. Let's see. I guess I threw one of my dagger stump things. So I'm gonna use the other one.
All right, good plan. All right, so
Yep.
you use that and make me acrobatics. See, I told you it would come around eventually. Yay! Acrobatics, Oh no!
Oh,
Care to read that to the
Natural
audience?
natural one.
Great
Let's
fail!
get a +4.
Okay. So Spain, you kind of, like you said before, you use sort of your dagger hilt to.
Somehow I doubt there's any kind of about this.
But you use your dagger hilt as the sort of piece of the zip line you grab. I'm sure there's a more technical word for that, but it's the piece of the zip line you grab. And you start to slide down, and you make it about 5 or so feet down when suddenly the hilt itself breaks.
Can I try and like grab him?
You could, but you have to remember this. Like the distance from you to him is about 95 feet, because that's about how much. Well, not 95. Somewhere between 80 and 95, because that's how long the rope is. I can
Yeah.
dimensions.
But aren't I up with them since I had to bring the rope to them?
Unless I was under the assumption you
I-
just held, like someone's holding the rope or tied it off there, and then you went down to tie it off on the tree.
Oh, I figured we were gonna tie it off on the tree first, and then I bring the rope up so we'd have extra time. But
Oh, it's up to you. How did you guys set this up?
That second one, so we can have more time.
Yeah, yeah. I'd imagine we would just hang on to one end and we'd just give him the other end.
Okay, so yeah, so Svein is now free falling. I just imagine because Svein, I assume this dagger hilt was made of metal or some sort of not metal alloy, but definitely not wood. Obviously not metal because it would melt, but obviously not wood because that makes a dumb hilt.
Made out of paper.
I mean, that's what most hilts are.
Yeah, it was made out of paper
Leather.
mache.
Okay.
Okay.
Cardboard?
Or some other. Yeah, whatever. It was okay. We'll just say it was made out of some really tough wood, and that's why it didn't dissolve. But definitely, with all of the strain it's been through now, it kind of snapped in two, and now you are free falling. And remember, you only got down like 5 feet, so that's still a 45 or so foot drop.
Got down part of the way at least.
Yeah.
Just look at it on the bright side.
So, Kennam, you want to try and grab him?
Very much so.
All of this is happening in bullet time.
Yes, all of this is happening in bullet time.
Yes.
Okay, so Kennam, you grab his hand and make me a strength check, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah, what did you honestly think it was gonna be?
So, like a dexterity or
No.
Flight
acrobatics?
check.
No, flight check.
16.
Okay, so you kind of managed to slow his descent, but he is still very much falling.
Yeah,
Just
I got
at a slower rate.
The important question is, would he take falling damage?
I mean, it would probably be significantly halved at this point.
Okay, cool.
But if he keeps falling, that may be a different scenario.
Got anything for that there, Svein? I got nothing for you.
Am I close enough to maybe try and like grab onto the rope again?
No.
And
I
roll-
mean, Kennam can maneuver you to the rope. Do you want to try that, Kennam?
I would very much like to try that.
Okay.
Let's try going to the rope there.
Okay, make me another strength check.
Oh.
Oh.
At least it wasn't a 1. It was a 2, but not a 1.
Okay, so here's sort of how the whole kit and caboodle played out. Spain,
no.
your hilt snapped underneath your weight, and sort of the weight of your hilt could not sustain the weight of you, so it snapped. You fell. Kennam sort of like half grabbed you and tried to make your way towards the rope, but wasn't a very solid grab in the first place. So as he starts to change directions, you sort of swing, and the momentum is too much for Kennam, and now you're dropping again.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So before Kennam, you can kind of respond to anything. Because at this point, like, he is dropping like a rock. Like, if you were to reach him at this point, it would be very close. And we're not going to put that to chance. So here's what happens. Svein, you are legit falling like a bag of bricks. You see sort of your friends still in that opening of the slime get smaller and smaller and smaller, and you see Kennam desperately racing after you, trying to grab you. And before your body sort of becomes an artistic pancake on the savannah floor, you hear this tearing of grass and this snarling sound. And quite suddenly, you land kind of flat on your back. The air is knocked out of you. But you land, and you didn't hit the ground. You hit something wooden. And
Could it
kind of
be?
kind of was like, as you get your breath and you stand up, you grab this railing for support. And you realize, as you're looking around and looking down, Florence just caught you on his back.
Yeah!
Oh,
And you see, like, this,
thank you, Florence. Thank you.
he kind of growls in response. But now you, like, all can see now, Florence sort of, like, literally seemed to appear out of nowhere, beeline to Svein and caught him on his back. And now he's sort of, like, half hobbling, half running, trying to catch up with the rest of the party up at the slime. Because you can see he has taken quite a beating during this adventure. A lot of the metal parts around his claws and his paws and his hands and his arms are very much eroded away, so running is sort of a little bit of a difficulty, but he is very much keeping pace with the ooze, and he's positioning himself so you guys can sort of partially zipline and then drop onto the back of him.
Well, sweet.
Alright, next.
Next.
I guess I'm next.
All right.
Acrobatics, correct?
Mhm.
I'd like to position myself under the people as they're doing this at this point.
Okay. Good plan.
Alright, a 9.
9. Oh god. Okay, what did you use now?
I was gonna try and use the shaft of my old battle axe.
Like the big.
The
sort of
long
quarterstaff?
wooden thing, yes.
Okay, well, you decided, hey, let's just make this bigger, and there's no way it'll snap. Yeah, and you get on the rope and you position it, and again, you go down 5 feet, and it snaps under your weight, and you plummet. But thankfully, though, this time, Florence is underneath you, so you don't plummet far. So I need you to make another acrobatics check to see how you sort of land on Florence's back, because you can still take some minor damage, but definitely not as much since Florence is there.
19.
Okay, 19, way better. So you.
I do a
totally-
superhero landing.
Yeah, no, that would shatter your knees.
Yeah.
No, you just kind of like tuck in and you roll across Florence, and then you also grab for the railing and stand up, and yeah, now you and Svein are on the back of Florence. Together forever.
We are never ziplining again.
Yeah, no, because you've literally just like broken both of your weapons, and I'm really upset.
Okay,
Yeah.
Lobe,
How do you think
might
I feel?
Lobe,
So,
might I
so this-
suggest something cloth?
so this inspiration roll of mine, is this just a guaranteed crit, or is it a
Yes,
advantage?
it is a guaranteed crit. You will always get
All
a
right.
Cannonball!
I was gonna say we're not even gonna bother with the zip line. We're just gonna superhero land on Florence. Use inspiration.
Okay. So, okay, all right, hang on, hold on, because it is inspiration, so I gotta make it sound cool. So, Lobe, you just watched both of your friends try and zip line down this rope with wooden stakes, and they both snapped and plummeted, and you are significantly heavier than both of these people combined.
Oh.
And my response is nope, nope,
Yep.
nope.
And you just kind of like drop out of the hole, and you are falling down the side of the slime, and you're sort of positioning yourself so you can land on Florence without like accidentally making a hole in Florence. And you kind of crash to the ground, but Florence is back. And it is like the coolest fucking thing that you, Lannon, or you, Svein, have ever seen in your life. Like, okay, you love Lobe. Lobe is great. Lobe is not the most dexterous person in the world, but you kind of just watched him sort of tumble and flip and kick out of the sky, and then he lands like on one knee, the hand on the ground, the other arm up. And it's just like the most epic thing you've ever seen out of any sort of large man.
A tear wells in my eye. And Lannon just goes, bravo.
And Svein joins in. His face is just
Awestruck?
open
I would say
awe.
in awe.
Yes.
And then I'm not gonna bother making Kennam roll because, you know.
Kennam can fly.
Yeah, Kennam could fly.
Can I just point out how ridiculous this chapter's become?
A little, yeah, but you know what? It's fine. Don't worry about it. Well, now here's my next very important question. Are you getting that rope back? Or are you just gonna, fuck it?
I mean, I've got time. I can go get it.
Okay, so you're
I
gonna
can just
regather
fly
up.
onto Florence.
Okay, so you're gonna regather up the rope.
Yeah. We've lost enough of our items today.
Lobe didn't bring any items, so he's happy.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, cool beans. So as you are
You
recollecting,
didn't lose anything, Lobe. You gained a friend while you were
did gain a friend
I gained a friend.
And a lot of stairs.
and a lot of stairs. So
The calves are rock solid now.
That's
Maybe
why I
that's
can
why
stick the landing.
yeah, that's why I stuck the landing. So
All them
as
stairs.
yeah, so as Kennam is sort of going out to recollect this rope, and you all actually get a minute to sort of take in the scene because you're no longer in a slime. The world is no longer muted in this weird gray shade.
Oh,
And-
thank God. Color.
Yeah, well, it's almost blinding actually, because
You have eyeballs.
you have eyeballs too.
I have ghostly eyeballs. There's a difference.
You're still blinded too by the glory of the outside world.
Damn these ghostly eyeballs.
I was like, even more so because it's ghostly
You need
eyeballs.
ghost sunglasses.
Yes.
Can
but-
I manifest some ghost sunglasses?
No. No ghostly sunglasses for you. But yeah, you guys are riding on the back of Florence, and it's really the first time you sort of realize how much you've missed being outside. Like, the sun is sort of setting off into the west, and you can feel the heat on your face. You feel like the wind rolling across your bodies. It's rather refreshing from that sort of stale, gooey hotbox that you guys have been in for almost 12 hours. So,
Gooey hotbox.
Mm.
So it's very nice. It's very refreshing. And as you sort of look behind on Florence, you can see the trail that the great big old ooze leaves has suddenly kind of intensified. It used to be, not that you guys would have seen it, but it used to be that like very minor sprouts of grass and like these little bushes would pop up as it rolled across the savannah. Now it's like an entire year's worth of savanna-y forest is being made behind it. Like these sort of saplings of trees have started to sprout up and they keep growing. So all in all, we're probably going to have a really great forest here later in the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And I assume at this point, Kennam also returns with rope.
Yeah, giving each person their respective ropes.
Thank you, Kennam.
Cheers.
And you deposit that rope back in your backpack.
I'm glad we're still alive.
I'm glad we're out of that goddamn ooze.
There is that matter of stopping said ooze from destroying the town.
Oh god.
Yeah, there is that little thing, and probably in a couple seconds you guys may have discussed that further as to how on Earth you're gonna redirect this thing. But before you can, you hear the sound of kind of a hatch banging on the back of the railing, and you all look over sort of at the front of Florence, like where his head would be, and you see kind of scrambling up and over the hole is a familiar face.
Which one?
Winslow.
No.
Ears?
Fuck all y'all. Yes, it is Ears.
Wait. I want you to explicitly say what she thinks about Kennam's new look.
Oh, there'll be time for that, but first I have to describe the fact that she, like, is literally making a beeline across the top of Florence. Like, fuck the railings, she's just in full sprint. And she...
Oh, it's the Phoenix King, isn't it?
Whatever.
You shut your whore mouth.
And immediately Ears kind of sort of half tackles into Svein, and you kind of see her try to give him a hug. And there's sort of this frenzy of chatter. You all kind of pick up on bits and pieces, but it mostly equates to something along the lines of, what the hell happened?
Oh, thank you for being here. Oh, that was a close one.
Well, I think I'm dead. That town's about to be dead. There's a dead guy in the slime trying to make the slime dead.
But at least we're not dead.
Yet,
Yeah,
if
she
we
got
don't
for
get that
yourself.
thing moving.
Follow that ooze.
Ears kind of pushes away from Spain. You kind of see her smack him, like, yeah, no shit, you're not dead. But do you know how many times you were almost dead? 3! I
That's
counted.
gonna be the last time.
Ugh. Guys, it's like been less than 24 hours. Could you please stop trying to die?
I lean over to Kennam and say, wow, they're acting like an old married couple.
Lannon, I swear to God.
Hey, now.
You don't think these gnome ears can't hear you?
Hold on. Kennam cast Prestidigitation to give a brunts.
She immediately turns to you, Kennam, and it's like, and as for you, and then she stops, and her finger recoils a bit, and she says, what
What?
the hell happened to
What?
you?
Not gonna make fun of the dead guy?
Okay. So, am I just to assume that the minute you all got encapsulated by plants that this happened? What happened? The stone of our speech cut out the minute that thing came up, and she points over to like the air bubble of plants. And she points to Kennam, and it's like, did you seriously die because of that? Like, you don't look dead. I don't think ghosts are a thing. Are ghosts a thing? Oh my god. You people are gonna drive me crazy.
Going to? It sounds like we already did. God damn.
What happened? Like, little more details than there's a dead person here and a dead person there.
We will fill you in later. First things first, we gotta stop that giant thing of ooze from hitting that town.
Yeah,
What?
isn't our goal kind of keeping people alive?
What town are you guys? And before she could finish that sentence, she kind of looks over to where the ooze is going and where you guys are running, and her jaw drops because now on the horizon, you guys can sort of see this makeshift of a city. And you're probably less than a mile or so away from it at this point.
No.
And you see Ear sort of like run a hand through her hair and sort of shake her head like, oh my god, this isn't happening, this isn't happening.
Sorry, but it's happening.
It is happening, I'm sorry.
And she takes a breath and she says, okay, all right. This is fine. We can handle this. We'll just fight it. No, we can't fight it. What are we supposed to do to this thing? I mean, if you haven't noticed before.
I've got an idea.
Okay.
Well, perhaps we can make an illusion that will distract it.
Okay. What kind of illusion are you guys gonna make that's gonna distract like a 60-foot slime thing intent on
6-foot slime in a bow.
What if we make another slime and make it somewhere where the village is not? Maybe Ivan will get confused and maybe want to learn more about this other slime, and will change his course.
Okay, well, as adorably and cartoony as that sounds, Svein,
What's a cartoon?
don't worry about it. I have this feeling it's going after the city for other reasons than the ones we've been thinking about. Or at least theorizing. There's a very good chance that all it really wants is more seeds to convert other people. Well, I guess you guys do know that already. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm still sort of blown away at the fact that you all are dead for the third time, but this one over here seems to be some kind of ghost thing.
Well, I'm sure we'll figure it out in time.
So
Okay, well-
I have a question.
Yes.
How
Kennam.
fast is Florence?
Well, we're pretty much at a canter at this point. Why?
So Kennam's gonna blast Aganazar's Scorcher at the slime.
I'm
to
sorry,
draw its
what?
attention.
No, stop.
Aganazar's Scorcher. A line of roaring flame 30 feet long and 5 feet wide emanates from you in a direction that you choose. Each creature in this line must make a dexterity saving throw or take 3d8 fire damage on a failed save.
Oh,
Or
get
half as
this!
much on a successful one.
I'm sorry. Okay, all right.
So yeah, I'm hitting at the slime to draw its attention.
Jesus fuck.
Okay, that's cool.
Ghost fire. I'm fine with this.
On top of that, I'm gonna use my portent roll to make sure it rolls a 1 on that dex save.
Oh my god. Okay.
I am out of portent rolls for the day, so nobody ask.
Okay.
And if it had any resistance to fire, it sure as hell doesn't anymore, because I have Elemental Adept
Oh my god. Stop.
as a feat.
Holy shit.
So-
Okay.
Should I
Okay.
start
Go,
inputting that damage, or is it just?
yeah. No. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. Can't wait to see where this goes.
And let's see, it's a 5, and a 1, but I have Elemental Adept for fire, so that's a 2. So that's 12 damage.
12 damage. And what did you say this thing looks like? Like the actual attack itself?
It is a fire beam. It is essentially, I'm essentially shooting a fire beam from my hands.
Okay.
A 30-foot long and 5 feet wide.
Oh my
fire beam.
god. Are you aiming it anywhere in particular, or you're just like, eh, fuck it?
I'm gonna hit it as close to the face as I possibly can.
Okay.
Draw that
That's cool.
shit's attention.
That's cool. So, Kennam, you kind of conjure up this crackling fire in your hands, and as you're doing this, you feel this pulse kind of emanate from your chest down your arms, and now mixed in with this, with like the colors of like orange and yellow and red and, you know, colors of a fireball. You see sort of this spark of blue join it, and as you rear back and you launch your hand forward to create this arcing beam, you can see that in this sort of pillar of oranges and yellows and reds, I almost said green, is this sort of spinning, swirling blue fire. And you smack this thing so fucking hard in the face that it, you actually managed to top it off balance a little bit. Like, you see part of the ooze sort of unstick from the ground and wobble. And Ears looks over at you with this expression of disbelief, and she's like, "Why did you do that?"
Better start running.
Oh my god. And now I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh no.
Well, you know what? Maybe Tom should have pot-shotted a fucking giant ooze with a fire beam.
Worth it.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I
What'd you
rolled
do?
21 on that initiative.
Holy
I rolled
crap,
20.
That's a good old initiative.
Which means that I rolled 20.
Wait,
I
Svein
rolled
rolled a
10.
20. Okay, well, par for course for Lobe. I guess you only had like that one cool dexterous move, and that was it. Lannon has 7. Okay, so Lannon's gonna go first. Cool beats. Oh my god.
Lannon's going.
Okay, so Kennam, I guess we'll count that as your turn because technically you go first, but you started this initiative, and you're starting this initiative, so we'll just say that's your turn. Svein, it is now your turn. You just watched Kennam basically piss off this giant ooze that you were just inside, and as sort of the smoke and ash parts, and you see that the side of this monster's face, yes, did get indeed quite the beating, and some of its skull is even starting to pop up a bit. It all immediately turns to you guys, and it lets out this horrifying shriek, sort of this weird mix of like human and inhumane. Again, Lobe and Kennam, you kind of hear a mixture of those voices from earlier, but at this point it's just them screaming. Like, you cannot make out what they're saying. And the slime sort of rears back, and it launches this rather thick pillar of ooze into the side of Florence. And you guys kind of hear like this crunching of wood and metal as this pillar sticks. And a couple seconds go by and nothing happens. And then, Svein, like I said, you sort of see a pair of gooey hands reaching over the rail and pulling themselves up. You now have oozlings to deal with. What do you do?
Oh, lovely. All right. Spain is going to look down over the side, and are there any oozlings that are close enough to touch?
So I'll put it in. I'll set up the battlefield now that we have it all set. You guys are sort of in the middle of Florence. Florence himself is about 50 or 60 so feet in length. You guys are in the middle of Florence. These oozes are kind of climbing over the side, sort of like where Ears popped up from the hatch. That's sort of the sides they're climbing up. So they're about 30 or so feet away from you, and still sort of clambering up and over.
Brilliant.
Okay. Okay. Well, since they're still a little ways away, Spain is going to cast Silent Image, and he's just going to make this like 10-foot tall illusion of a slime with like really big fists.
Okay. Wait a
Like,
minute.
he's gonna
Pause.
fight these guys.
Pause a second. What spell is this?
Silent Image.
What is that? I mean, I can
It's
guess
just-
what that is.
It's just an illusion. It really
Okay.
doesn't do much aside from look cool. But maybe it'll give us the chance we need to strike, or keep him distracted so that Svein can do a sneak attack on him later.
Okay, so you conjure up sort of this 10-foot tall slime person, I guess,
Yep, with big fists.
with a big fist. Alrighty, Rue.
Yep, like he's a slime boxer.
Okay. I assume you kind of put that guy closer to the slimes. Don't just like have him hanging out near you.
Yes. Yep,
Okay.
yep, they gotta go through him to get to us.
Okay. Is there anything they sort of have to roll to disbelieve it, or like can this thing actually physically attack people?
It cannot physically attack them. And also, if they physically interact with it, they know it's an illusion.
Okay.
Let me see. And also, they can use an action to examine the image to determine if it's an illusion.
Okay, gotcha.
With an investigation check.
I don't know if these fools even have investigation. Okay. Are you gonna do anything else?
No, that's it for now.
All right. Before I go to Lannon, I just want this known. Somebody better be thinking of like a slime boxer related pun because we need to add this to our repertoire of silly slimes that we have now fought in this adventure.
Mike Slimeson?
That's pretty good. We'll keep workshopping.
Mike
So Lannon,
Slimes.
Lannon, you see the same sight as Svein. You see these oozes sort of piling up and over the top of Florids. And what do you want to do?
Lannon has no weapons. Lannon's metal got eaten.
You have two
Actually-
clubs.
Okay, so like, is Lannon just not gonna really do anything? He's just gonna stand there, maybe a little salty.
No, Lannon's gonna take his 2 whacking sticks that he got from his now destroyed hand axes and try to beat the fuckers.
Okay, so you pull out your 2 whacking sticks and
Whacking sticks.
I guess rush forward about you can make 30 feet. Okay, so you're gonna whack one.
Sure, I guess.
All right, make me that whack and roll then. Did we say that these are improvised weapons, or did we say that these could be clubs? I'm trying to remember now.
I don't know. Did you say they could be clubs, or did you say they could be improvised weapons? We counted the daggers as improvised weapons. But
We did, but is a dagger smaller than a hand axe, or are they at the same size?
very much so.
Okay, then this is an improvised weapon. So no proficiency bonus for you.
Okay. Man. Alright. Then. Dude. 22.
What? Wow. Okay. Even with the without proficiency. Yeah. Go ahead and make your attack or your damage.
What's the damage of a one-handed club?
Well, no. Better question is, what's the damage of usual improvised weaponry, which I believe is 1d4.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah,
Alright.
you ain't gonna do jack shit. Weapon sticks. Weapon sticks.
You know, the thought just occurred to me, Nick. You could just throw them off the cart.
That's Lobe's thing. Don't take that from him.
Do a tag team wrestling thing.
Y'all are ridiculous.
Oh, god damn it.
That's like
Natural
minimum
one.
damage.
That is exactly minimum damage.
Okay, so you like rush forward, and you go. I assume you try and say something real cool just to make up for the fact that you have really shitty
No.
weapons. You know then.
Yeah.
Okay, so you like very disappointedly kind of rush forward, and maybe it's because you didn't try and like pump yourself up, but you like go to club this guy in the ribs, and it sort of sticks a bit, and the ooze sort of looks at you as if to say, "Did you really just try that?"
Alright. As a free action, I'm gonna say, look, man, I've had a rough day.
Okay, Lobe, it is now your turn.
Okay. Can I actually grapple oozes? Is that a
Abs-
thing?
I mean, it'll be a little more difficult, but I don't see why not.
Okay. Well, first, is there any like shrapnel of anything just hanging out on the ground?
Any shrapnel on the ground?
Like, chunks of wood, of Florence, or anything like that?
I mean,
No?
there's the railing. I guess you could break off some of the railing if you.
Nah, Lobe doesn't want to hurt Florence more.
Okay.
All right.
Good call.
We need to get an animate spanner.
Yeah, you do.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and go to, I guess, just hit one of the oozes, and then we'll go into a grapple because I get to grapple after hit as a bonus now.
Okay. Oh, that's special. That tells me you got a feat instead of upping your skill set or your whatever.
Kind of. I got both.
Holy
because
shit!
of the feat.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Okay, so
Right.
you also rush forward 30 feet. You kind of watch Lannon sort of not haphazardly.
Half-assed.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Half-assing it over there. There's about, like, at this point, there's probably about 3 or 4 oozes that have made it over the rail, and you are definitely close enough to one that you could grab one.
Well, I'm hitting, then I'm grabbing.
Oh, right. Okay, so let's roll to punch.
So I add proficiency with this now, and then what do I add? Strength?
Yes, that makes sense in my brain.
Okay.
19? Yeah, that hits. Roll your dabblage.
Okay.
Is it still 1d4 to punch things?
Yes, I just get proficiency with it.
Oh, gotcha.
So what? I get to toss in my strength to it.
Yeah, that makes sense. We gotta get you some punching knuckles.
Yeah.
Punching knuckles for a cleric. It sounds really weird, but it's cool.
You can make them out of like wine bottles.
Yeah,
Punch into them.
and you could cut a bitch.
I'll beat a motherfucker with another motherfucker.
Exactly. Okay,
Okay,
so
so
you
4 damage, and then go to grapple, I guess.
go to grapple. He will try and do a dex wiggle diggle, but his dex is not the best, so it'll actually be funny. Well, maybe not that funny. He got 17.
Alright, I'm looking to see what I roll for grapple. Real
Cool
quick.
beads. Oh my god, now I just imagine Lobe with a bunch of shattered glass on his knuckles.
That'd be
Bet.
awesome.
Doing like the Liam Neeson thing with the what was that movie? You know the movie,
Gray?
yeah, the Gray.
Right? Yeah.
Oh my god.
Fight the wolf.
Fight the wolf! Fight the
Only
wolf!
he uses full shattered beer bottles because he's that big.
Oh my
Yep.
god. That'd be super epic, actually.
That'd be mega epic.
Oh, maybe if you guys don't accidentally destroy this city, you can find some of that.
Instead of brass knuckles, glass
We
knuckles.
just got a new shipment in today.
So I go
Yeah.
with athletics.
Okay.
All right. Which is now.
Beat that 17.
Beat the 17! Beat the 17! Beat the 17! Oh.
Stop
All
that.
hiccupy now. I'm sorry. I may have shattered some glass while I... Oh,
Ooh.
that's like 10 off. Okay. So you go and you sort of right hook this other slime next to Lannon in the face. And you go to wrestler pick him up. Like, you know, you lock your, like, one arm around his shoulder and neck and, like, the other around his torso. Or not his torso, like, underneath his legs. But it sort of wiggles out of your grapple. That sense. It wiggles out of your grapple, and it sort of just splooches next to you. So you did punch it in the face, but you didn't manage to kind of full Nelson that baby. Disclaimer,
What?
please don't full Nelson babies. I just said that.
Never do that.
Don't you work at a daycare?
No, shut up. But no, you punched it, but you didn't manage to grapple it.
Okay. That's what I thought you were saying.
I don't know why I thought of full Nelsons and babies. That's not a good combination.
No, it's
No,
not.
They don't go together.
So Ears was next to Svein, and then Svein. Oh no, Svein didn't move anywhere, did he?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Oh, lovely. So Ears, I guess, then watched Lobe and Lannon, both the L's, rush forward and try to attack these guys. And she sort of watches as you take out this stick, Lannon, and you start whacking the slime's bear cage. And she looks up at you, Svein. She's like, what is he doing? Why is he hitting people with sticks? He has weapons. Why isn't he using them?
Well, actually, he is. You see, when we went in the slime,
Oh
he
my
lost a lot of
god.
things.
Oh my
Well,
god.
you should know from looking at Florence that, well, slime and metal, they don't mix.
Yeah, nope, I got it. Crap. And then she sort of, like, as she's looking at you guys, she then leans over a bit, and her face lights up, and she's like, oh shit. Kennam!
What?
Okay, well, you managed to freaking get its attention, that's great, but, I'm not down there to drive, so we're still on a collision course. And now we're fighting a slime.
We'll get down there.
Okay, wise ass. You want me to run through all the fucking slimes? I don't want to do that. No, thank you.
Kennam, can you just go through the walls? Can you go down there and ghost drive?
Oh, can I go through the wall?
You can try it on your turn if you want.
Okay.
Actually, speaking of, it is your turn, so you can try that if you want with your move action.
Yeah, I'll start with that.
Okay, so I imagine you're sort of floating next to Ears, and she's telling you all this, and you're like, well, why don't I just go and float down? And then you immediately, do you just like go straight down? Or are you gonna move over and go down?
I don't know.
Really phase through the floor.
I'm gonna try and phase through the floor. I mean, am I in a position in which I can do that?
I mean, again, you're floating right next to her, so you could just sort of drop down if you want.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kennam, you start to float down.
While I'm doing it, I want to go ooh
Okay, so
with like
you're
little finger wiggles.
so you face Ears and Svein, you go woo, and your feet hit the ground, and that's it. Now you look like a jackass.
Well then,
Well, I guess
driving-
that's out.
driving the steering wheel's right below us, right?
No, it's a little that way, and she points directly to where Lobe and Lannon are fighting all of the ooze. It's like, if we can get them out of the way, I could get down there. Right now,
How close are they to each other?
Lannon and Lobe?
No, the slimes. I mean, Lannon and Lobe, kind of. Whatever.
Yeah, they're like all in one hodgepodge together. Like, the front of the railing, like the front of Florence, they all sort of encompass that area. They are all within 5 or less feet together.
And do remind me, is the whole 5-foot step thing in 5e?
I mean, it makes sense, but I sort of just assumed that was you trying to phase through the wall.
5 is in
Or
the
the
name,
floor.
so why not?
Okay. Lobe, not Lobe. Yeah, Lobe and Lannon, 5-foot step to the right and left. Get out of the way.
5-foot step to the whatever.
Whatever direction you are, whatever direction is away.
Doing it.
All right.
Okay, I've got one last level 2 slot. Aganazar's Scorcher.
Again?
Why not?
Last one. Clear the path, get Ears there, let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Roll their decks.
Okay. Well, like I
They
said
have
before,
to beat 14.
yeah, they're not very good at that. All right, and there's 4 of them. Here we go. That's a 4. That's a natural
Yeah.
20.
Oh, he's doing a slime
Okay.
flip.
That's a 1. Not a natural 1, just a 1. And that's a 14.
I assume that the one that got a natural 20 literally just spread its body to make a hole.
Dude, that one was like, nope, and just picked itself up, and the flame goes over it.
Alright, so am I rolling damage for just 1 or 2 of them?
It would be 2, because 1 got a 4 and 1 got... Oh, no! 1 got a 4, 1 got a 1, and 1 got a 14, so technically that still hits. So everybody but that 20 motherfucker, who's just so fly.
Well, they take 22 damage.
22 out of 24. That's good.
Okay, well, you fire off this last Scorching Ray, and it completely just vaporizes 3 out of 4 of them.
Can you move now, Ears?
Yeah, no, I think I got it.
I like how that's the exact number he needed to kill them.
Yeah, good numbers, good numbers.
Yeah, good numbers.
Here's the thing, though. So as you sort of clear this path, and you're sort of, I guess, a little triumphant, feeling a little good, you just killed 3 out of 4. That's not bad. Here's the thing. Now it's the giant ooze's turn to attack again. And it sort of rears its
Can
head.
Florence not move on his own?
Well, no, because Florence is currently attached to the slime via a pillar of slime. So that's problematic.
Oh, well, I should have cut the pillar.
Yeah, maybe.
I didn't know there was a pillar. I mean, I know there was a pillar, but I thought it was over. I thought it was a one-time thing. My bad.
It's
No.
over now.
My bad, guys. Well, that's it.
That one's on Kennam.
No,
Wait,
so
I have one last question before we
Yes.
continue. Where the hell is Kevin?
well, Kevin didn't come up with you, so there's a safe assumption she's still down in Florence.
Damn it, Kevin.
No MacGuffin goat for you.
Damn it.
Okay, so like I was saying, this ooze sort of rears its head back and makes something akin to a hacking noise. And it spits rather forcefully onto the deck of Florence, and you sort of see this weird conglomeration of multiple skeletons and plant life, and it all starts to form together into this really weird, sort of disturbing chimera-looking thing.
Okay.
And now that's between Lannon and Lobe and Svein, Kennam, and Ears. So now you got this giant, creepy amalgamation blocking the path. And Ears kind of looks at you, Kennam, and she's like, "No, Kennam, I don't think I can run forward. Just in case you were wondering." Oh, God. All right. Svein, it is now your turn.
I feel you.
Just sighs all around.
Okay. I'm gonna have Slime Boxer. Or what's his name? Mike Slimeson?
What did you call him?
Mike
Mike
Slimeson.
Slimeson.
Mike Slimeson? Okay, so Mike Slimeson.
Yeah, Mike Slimeson. He's gonna start getting a little closer to the slimes and maybe off to one side. Maybe, hopefully, draw him over to one side.
Are you basically trying to scare the slime chimera and the single slime soldier left?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Intimidate the shit
Oh,
out of
and
him.
he's gonna punch his slime gloves together.
Okay, so you're
Threateningly.
yeah, so you're making an intimidation check. Okay. Well, I guess since it's technically not real, we'll just use your intimidation. So you go ahead and roll the intimidation.
Good thing
Don't
these things
roll
are not
intimidation.
intelligent.
Inspiration!
What?
I still have that.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Perfect time to do it. Inspiration. Let's go.
Okay.
All right.
So
That's a
guess-
natural 20.
yeah, hang on, give me a minute. I wasn't prepared for this.
Are you
Okay,
prepared
so-
for any of the shit we do?
No, this one
Is Mike
especially.
Slimeson gonna show off his cool moves now?
Yeah, like he
He's
flexes.
gonna
his
bite off
slime-
someone's ear?
He like flexes his slime muscles and like punches his slime fists together, and it's just so frightening to both of these people. The remaining kind of slime warrior immediately just jumps off the edge. He's like, "Nope," and he's gone. The slime chimera less so. It's definitely frightened. Like it kind of backs away from you. So now it's closer to you, Kennam, and you, Svein. Or no, reverse that. It's closer to Lannon and Lobe now. So it's sort of backing up that way.
Oh,
Yeah, Svein, it wants fucking nothing to do with you now. It will not go near you for the rest of this fight. God damn it.
Back it off a cliff, Svein.
Okay, so Lannon, it is now your turn. This sort of Slimera is backing up
Slimera.
towards you. Yeah, it doesn't see you just yet. It's sort of still focused on the scary tiny dwarf and his scary Mike Slimeson. So yeah, that's a thing.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
How close is the slime hair to the edge?
Well, like I said, it's sort of backing up into you two, and you two are at sort of the front, the head of Florence. So, you know, it's getting there.
Wow.
It's also pretty big, so, you know, already kind of close to the edge.
Why don't the two of you just push it off?
I
I
was
have
gonna
to
say,
Yeah.
Lannon, do you want to live forever?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys are gonna like try and double suplex this bitch off the edge, huh?
Fuck
Okay.
yeah.
Suplex.
Okay. Well, here's the fun thing. Because you two are actually in the same, you're within the same distance in the initiative order. It'll literally be in Lobe next. You just want to like take your turns and do this together.
Well, does Lannon want to?
Hell yeah.
All right, let's do
All
it,
right.
boys.
Let's do it. We're taking him off the edge.
Double suplex.
Double suplex. Now wait. I need to clarify something. Are you just like trying to toss him off the edge, or you're literally like going off the edge with him?
Whatever's gonna guarantee it more.
Okay. Lannon, are you cool with this?
Lam-
Slime's hitting first. That's my
Slime
thought.
just-
yeah, Lamb's down. Lennon's down with everything.
Okay.
You're down with
All
going
right.
down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're literally going down if,
Yeah, you're literally gonna. We're not gonna think about it. It'll be fine.
Anything for the party.
Okay, so I guess Lannon, you just make me a strength check, and Lobe, do what you did last time: punch it and then try and grab it.
Strength check.
That's a strength.
God damn it.
That's an 8. Okay.
Don't we have any more inspirations rolling
That's a
around?
natural 1. Oh my god.
We were too cocky. We were way too cocky.
Okay.
Oh, look at Mike Slimeson. Look at the Slimera.
Okay. So here's how this goes down. This Slimera is slowly backing away
Wait.
from Spain
Wait.
because...
Were we on either side of it?
Sure. Like, you guys were sort of behind it, but you are on either side of the platform now. Like, Lobe's on one side of the railing and you're on the other.
oh.
Could
But
we
I
have
assume-
gotten advantage?
Yeah, because
Because
flanking.
of flanking?
Does the Slimera believe that Mike Slimeson is flanking it?
Okay, now, is it flanking because Mike Slimeson is there, or is it flanking because those two are on either side of it?
It's flanking because we're on either side of it.
Okay, here's the thing. You two are still behind it,
Oh.
so it would be like you're in a square, you're on the lower half of that square, it's in the middle of that square. Technically, it's not flanking, but I applaud you for trying to save your ass.
Damn it. Alright.
It's okay. I'll keep that in mind because, you know, you're being smart. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, so, like I was saying, Mike Slimeson is sort of intimidating this giant Slimera, it's a lot of slime, back into you and Lobe. And Lobe looks to you, Lannon, sort of with this crazy look in his eye. He's like, hey, let's do this. And you're like, yes. It's like a bond was formed between two friends. Like, you totally got this. There's no way this is gonna mess up. Unfortunately, you didn't realize that this slime is like,
Slimy?
Twice the size of you is also a little tricky. Like, Lobe, you've grabbed sort of some of these slimes in the past and it has been that much of a big deal. Did not account for how big this one is, though. So you two, like, run up and try and grab some part of it. Lannon, you get a little stuck. You're like, your arms push into this slime and now you're sort of stuck. You are very stuck. So that's interesting. Lobe, but you get really stuck. Like, you charge this thing with all of your might, ready to just bear hug it into submission. Unfortunately, did not sort of account for how slippery the slime would be, and you sort of just run right into it. So now you're sort of free floating at the bottom end of this Slimera. I'm gonna need you both to take some acid oh Jesus, not a 20. So Lannon, you take 2 acid damage. Lobe, you also take 2, and at this point, Lobe, you are now suffocating. And it's back to Irsa's turn, and she's watching all this, and she's like, is this literally how it went when you guys were in there?
Well, maybe something like this.
Son of a bitch. And Svein, you watch Ears sort of dart forward, and you see her fishing around for something in her bag. Ears is sort of running over to you, Lannon, and she says, Lannon, I swear to God, if you mess this up, but not 100% realizing that, hey, when you run around a giant monster, it can hit you. So it's gonna take a swipe at Ears. I think that's the right. Yeah, right. Oh no, that's not right. Okay, so it's gonna take a swipe at Ears. Well, that's a 15. Okay. So Ears is running again, trying to run around this monster, trying to get to you, Lannon, fishing in her bag. Doesn't account for the fact that, again, this Slimera, there we go, is huge, and it takes one of its like half congealed, bony, planty claws, and it just fucking sucker punches her, and she goes flying. Like, the bag just, the bag is gone. The strap that it was wrapped on just rips off, and it hits the railing. She hits the railing too, and She goes flying right off the side of the railing.
Yeah.
Ears, are you okay?
You see like these tiny fingers grabbing the railing. She's like, "No, I am not." Kennam,
Hang on.
it is now your turn, Kennam.
Well, it's a good thing she's tiny and I can fly, so...
Thank gods.
But I have one question.
Oh God, what?
Where's Uzi Osborne? The slime I charmed not but half an hour ago.
It's been a little more than a half an hour, my friend.
No, it hasn't. Shh.
Well, how long has it been?
A couple hours?
Oh,
29
well, I
minutes.
guess he's not a friend anymore. Never
No,
mind.
not really.
All right.
We're
I'm gonna go rush over and try and get Ears off of the railing.
Okay, so you kind of run over and you see Ear struggling to pull herself up and over. And just before sort of like the last finger falls off, you grab her hand and she looks up and she's like, okay, this is why I don't do the fighting thing.
Saved by the dead, it seems.
Shut up. And here's the crazy thing, Kennam. Wait, okay, I have to ask. How did you fly over to get her? Did you also go around the Chimera, Oozmera, Slimera?
I'm like half unaware of where everyone is in relation to each other anymore.
Okay, cool.
Whatever the quickest way to Eris was, I went there, I guess.
Okay, well, so here's the crazy thing. I'll set up the stage again just so you don't get confused. You have, in the middle of Florence, you have Svein at this point, just himself. Closer to the top of Florence's head, you have Lobe. Well, I guess Lobe and Lannon are now kind of one with the Slimera, aren't they? So closer to the top of Florence's head is the Slimera, Lobe, and Lannon. Ears tried to go around to get to the back of this Slimera to try and like get something to Lannon, and she got fucking bitch slapped over the side. And I guess the quickest way would to be going the same way she went. Here's the crazy thing. The Slimera doesn't take a hit at you.
I'm invisible to slimes. They can't see dead people.
They don't have eyes.
Okay.
They could probably hear
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, they could probably hear you. So you grab Ears. What are you doing with her? Are you just like gonna pull her over the railing? You gonna like go?
Yeah, hopefully. That is. Well, ooh, wait. No, is there a window in the driver's seat?
There are windows. Yes.
Can I drag her over to that and throw her through the window?
Well, the window's not broken.
Well, it's
Can I
going to
break
be.
the window?
Okay.
I'd like to fly her over there and break the window.
Okay, wait, let me get this straight. You're going to grab Ears from plummeting to certain doom, only to hold her outstretched to that certain doom and try and shatter a window, all while trying to hold on to her.
Yes.
Swing her through the window, thus shattering it.
Ears is really upset by this. I want you to know. Like, you went to go grab her, and she's like, okay, thank God. Like, this is why I don't fight. And then suddenly you're pulling her out, like, over the abyss. And she's like, what? No, put me down. Go put me back on the top of Florence. What are you doing?
Don't worry, I can fly.
I can't.
Well, that's why I'm here.
No, just listen. Just
He ain't listening.
take me back to the railing. I just need to get my bag. I was trying to get something for Lannon.
I can get the thing. You need to drive Florence.
I'm gonna die. Like,
What if
what is your plan here? I am dangling like 50 or so feet up off the ground. Like, what do you want me to do here?
Well, I'm going to put you in the driver's seat so you can get Florence out of here.
Okay, there's still glass separating us. How do you? And then sort of like two.
Firebolt on the glass.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say hold up on that just for a hot second because you have now like grabbed her and then moved. So
Wait, you said Kevin's in there. Can I shout to Kevin?
You can try and signal to Kevin, sure.
Okay, I'm gonna shout to Kevin.
Okay.
Tell him to break it open with her horns.
I guess that would.
She's a tiny creature. What do you think she's gonna do?
Okay, I guess I'll just paint this to you real quick. You do see as you sort of swing over to the windows, to the side of Florence's face, you do see the cockpit is right there. Florence is sort of like sleeping off in the corner.
Florence?
Kevin?
Winslow?
Not Florence, I meant Kevin. Shh.
Kevin?
Too many names! No, Kevin is off sleeping in the corner. The cockpit is currently unmanned. You assume it's probably on some sort of autopilot.
Fuck is
And-
Winslow?
Well, Winslow at this point is still probably knocked out. Sleepy Time
God
Junction
damn it,
and all that.
Winslow.
And so you want to try and get Kevin's attention.
Yes.
I don't even know what kind of roll that would be.
A shout check?
I would say, are you just like yelling through their glass, being like, "Kevin, wake up!"
Yeah.
I guess I'll just roll like a perception for Kevin and just see if she can hear you. You see. So, what do you shout through the glass? What are you yelling?
Kevin! Kevin!
You see Kevin
Get
kind
your
of.
ass up or I'm haunting your ass.
You see Kevin's ears twitch a bit, and she kind of like rolls to her other side, but she doesn't wake up.
You try. So
What?
ears. I'm assuming that's the end of my turn though. So.
Yeah, it is the end of your turn, but you can tell ears to try. And she's gonna say back to you, "I am not going to shout a goat's name through industrial level glass. Like, she's not gonna hear you, dude." All right, so Svein, it is now your turn.
All right. So Svein is going to try to stealthily approach the Slimera and
Okay.
Stab it in the face
Okay. The
or back of the face, or I don't know which.
Yeah,
way he's
something like that.
facing,
okay, do
or
me
if he faces the way.
yeah, do me a stealth check then. Because I was about to say, well, now wait a minute, the slime air is afraid of you, but then I thought to myself, no, it's afraid of Mike Slimeson, and you got that 19. So, I guess like you now see Ears is sort of in Kevin's hand, or not Kevin. God, too many names. You see Ears is in Kennam's hand, so she's safe. It's cool. What's the worst that could happen? And you start
He's
sneaking.
gonna flash her a thumbs up.
Yeah. So you start sneaking, I guess, around Mike Slimeson, who is still very much intimidating the slime era to keep backing up. And you are now in optimal stabbing distance. So are you stabbing with the rapier, I assume?
Yes, I am.
All right, make that magic happen. Roll me a stab with a rapier. Jesus Christ,
There
16.
we go. And would I get? Am I sneaking up on him? Do I get advantage because? this is
Yeah,
a
you
sneak
you snuck right up on him.
Alright.
Holy hell, that's 20.
Which means
Okay.
sneak attack damage.
Sneak attack damage it is.
Yes.
Away! Sneak attack damage, the best kind of damage. I mean, I guess. Probably.
Probably. Yeah.
I mean, fire's pretty good. Served you guys well so far.
Yeah, fire's worked.
Okay, here we go. Somehow I'm missing one of my shortcut buttons.
That's
so-
okay. Ugh, now it's stuck in my head.
There- Oh, it's
Spain needs to keep better track of his damage. Oh.
but that's regular damage.
Okay, so that 5 is regular damage. Cool. Now where's that sneak damage? Now, that's an
Here we
8.
go. So, yeah.
Okay, cool. So you are sneaking sort of along the top of the railing, sneaking closer towards the slime era as Mike Slimeson does his work. And you stab this thing right in the side. And again, you feel sort of this cold jolt of energy running off the hilt, up the blade, and smack the slime. And Tom, does that elemental things, is that still in effect? Or is that only for
My elemental adept?
Yeah.
That only works for me, and it only works for fire.
Okay, so that's cool though. So it takes. Okay, so it doesn't seem to be very affected by your attack, but you do see that that whole cold effect did just happen. On that note, however, it is now the Slimera's turn.
Oh god.
And even though that poke wasn't very painful, you're kind of the only person in the vicinity.
She says
Even that-
as Lobe is literally inside the Slimera.
Yeah, but what's it gonna do? What's it gonna do?
Hit itself until Lobe gets out.
Like,
Totally.
totally.
I mean, its intelligence is a 1.
Okay, well. It's not that stupid. Come on.
Are you
Come on.
sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Are you positive?
Look, guys, I'm only taking like the very bare bones of what a chimera is. It's not like 100% here. All right.
There are no
so-
bones. It's a slime.
Well, there are plenty of bones because it's a slime.
Yeah, because it's slime. So,
And because Lobe's in it.
yeah. So, this slime then is going to try and bite you, Svein.
Great.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. That's an 11.
Nope.
That doesn't hit. Okay.
No.
Here's the bad news. It goes to bite you, but chimeras have this fun little thing called multi-attack.
Oh.
So now it's gonna try and swipe you with its clawsies. With the 20.
Ouch.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that hits. And it's going to hit you for... No, not 1d2, d6. Come on, guys. There we go. 14 damage.
Ooh, that hurts.
Svein gonna have a kick-ass scar after this.
Yes, I think he is.
Okay, and I actually also need you to make a dexterity save because you were right up against this rail and this thing just smacked you.
Ooh.
Dexterity save. Dexterity. Oh no!
Natural 1.
Natural one again. Okay, so you stab this thing and it goes to bite you, and you kind of deftly dodge to the left, but you didn't account for claws. So this amalgamation horrifying beast smacks you real hard off over the edge. And for the second time today, Svein, you are plummeting.
Got nothing for you, bud.
Okay, we're I almost want to just say let's come back to that. Yeah, we'll come back to that. So you're gonna be free falling for a bit. Lannon!
Pause.
So Lannon, you're kind of stuck a little bit.
Lannon's hands are just.
Oh no, sir. You are like shoulder deep into this.
Shoulder deep.
Slimera.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to get out, you're gonna have to make me a strength saving throw. Something crazy to get the heck out of here. Or, I guess it'd be athletics. Now I'm thinking about it.
I mean, either way,
either
that's
or
under
would work.
strength.
Yeah, I guess it works either way. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, just make me like athletics to see if you can pull yourself out of here.
That's a 24.
Hot damn! Yeah, you just kind of squelch right out.
Wait, do I like pull the chimera along with me?
No.
Why not? I could like literally throw it over the edge. No, I can't.
With Lobe inside.
Yeah, with Lobe inside. Let's not forget that.
No,
So
alright.
you manage to pull yourself free. Ooze kind of flies this way and that. You kind of land on your butt on the boardwalk, I guess, the back and forths. And she like for you can see that Svein just went over the right side. From your perspective, Lobe is still inside this Slimera, and as far as you know, Kennam and Ears are sort of free flying to the left of you. Here's the fun thing. Maybe about 10 or 15 feet away from you, kind of close to the slime, is Ears' back. And it's like this, like again, this strap is sort of shredded, but you do see it's partially open, and you kind of see something inside, like she was just about to grab it before she got, smacked over the edge.
Alright. I had a stupid plan. but I'm gonna go for the bag.
Okay. Are you just gonna like make a run for it then?
Yes.
Okay. Well, when you do that, you see some of like the bones and the skeletons and the skulls inside of the slime era shift onto you because it can see you running towards it, and it's going to make an attack of opportunity.
All right.
It's let's see, what's it? It's gonna like one of the skulls from inside it is going to kind of reach out and it's gonna try and bite you.
Oh, brilliant.
That's terrifying.
A little bit, yeah. Like, and this is one of the bigger skulls. Like, it's maybe the size of your head and then some. So it could probably chomp a good chunk off your noggin if you're not careful.
All right. Should I just like make a regular dexterity to move out of the way, or can I try and use acrobatics to literally jump over the damn thing?
Oh, that'd be really cool, but I'm actually just gonna make this attack of opportunity roll. That's a 15.
That does not
So I
hit.
guess, yeah. So you can like, you could say that you flip over it or you.
Sweet.
Okay, cool beans. So you do that. You grab the bag, and now the bag is in your possession.
All right. What the fuck is inside here?
You fish up.
Flashlight.
Can show the ooze it's not a real Slimera.
Yeah.
No, you reach in and you grab a jar of something. It's like the size of an ink jar. The cork is sort of loosely pushed into it. The contents itself, as much as you're gonna hate to hear this, are also kind of gray. And it seems to be like the minute you pick it up, it warms in your hand, and you see it sort of take on this slight tint of red.
What? So alright. So it's just a vial with stuff in it. With a cork.
It's an inkwell, thank you kindly.
Inkwell. With a cork loosely put on.
Mm-hmm.
You have to draw a pretty picture with it.
Lannon's debating on either throwing it or drinking it.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Why don't you make a check to see if what it is?
That's a good idea. Well,
I mean, or you could just make that split-second decision of drink or throw. The mysterious thing that came out of this bag.
can I just like insight to see what the fuck this could be?
Sure. Go for it.
9?
I have no idea.
No, okay.
No idea. As far as you know, it's just like weirdly colored ink.
Okay, so taking that he thinks it's ink into consideration, he's gonna throw it.
Okay? You just gotta throw it right at the slime?
Yep.
Okay. You throw it at the slime, and it sticks kind of into its side, and then you sort of see it get slurped up too. And nothing happens for a minute because it's like still in the vial. The vial itself didn't smash.
Damn it.
So I'm gonna go to Lobe, who's kind of still suffocating at this point. This is an interesting conundrum because I know suffocating is a thing, but I'm not 100% sure how the mechanics work for suffocation in 5e.
Why not make it
Let's find
1d6 per round?
I'm gonna hang on because I'm sure there is something that says you can hold your breath. Yeah, there is.
Fuzzy suffocating.
This says a creature can hold its breath for a number of minutes equal to 1 plus its constitution modifier, a minimum of 30 seconds. So, what's your constitution, Lobe?
Funny you should ask.
What
so
is
the
it?
modifier is 4.
Oh, your modifier is 4. So that means you can hold your breath for 4 minutes. Wow, that's really impressive.
Wow. It's from
That's a
all that
lot of rounds. But you also take acid damage because you're in. So
But at least he's not suffocating.
you're not
But you won't
suffocating.
suffocate for pretty much the next, what?
Billion or so rounds. It's not even like a thing to worry about anymore. But take 1 acid damage, and you are
Okay.
still in here, so you could get out. But Lannon did just kind of chuck this weird vial thing, and it's stuck, and now it's free floating, and it is kind of close to you. If you stretched, you could reach it.
All right, I guess swim to the thing.
Okay.
How big is the Slimera?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
Would he actually be able to swim in it?
I mean, you can. I guess I would just say make some sort of like swimmy check to see if you can actually get close to it. Is that athletics now?
Uh,
Because I don't think there's just swim. I think it's just under athletics.
I would
It
assume
is.
so.
That's what I
it's
thought.
just athletics. Okay. Cool.
And
Alright.
just for future reference, this thing is large category, so pretty big. Takes up a lot of this railing space.
Wunderbar.
Wunderbar. 13. Yeah, you do manage to swim over to this vial, which is still... I keep calling it a vial. No, it's an inkwell. Very important distinction.
Does ink
And-
kill ooze?
You manage to sort of scoop this inkwell up into the palm of your hand. And
Open
similarly,
it.
I would say, yeah, similarly, when Lannon picked it up, the color inside. Wait a second, I gotta do my descriptions. Is gray, but when you grab it, it feels warm, and it takes on sort of this yellowish white tint. And then you uncorked it. Okay. So, here's my question. Does Lobe have any sort of weapons, or like what does Lobe have on him right now? Like any sort of wooden pieces or
He's got what's it called? Oh, an inkwell vial in his hand.
okay, thank you. Wise ass. Is that literally all he has?
He's got the clothes on his back.
Okay.
Not even a holy symbol, or?
No, it's
Oh
his
yeah, he's
tattoo.
got it's his tattoo.
Would you say that Lobe wears any sort of like rings or like medallion or something?
Mostly shirts and pants.
Shirts and
Usually pants.
All right. So Lobe uncorks this vial, and you see, yep, just like that, and you see this mixture of like grayish, whitish, yellowish liquid come out, and the ooze actually can't touch it. It's almost like it's oil and the ooze's water. They're completely repulsed by each other, and it hangs there, and it just hangs there like it sort of darts this way and that, like it's looking for something, but apparently you don't have what it's looking for, Lobe. But eventually this sort of free floating arm comes by, like the lower half of an arm bone, and
What?
it immediately latches onto that. Well, the chimera itself is just a big conglomeration of meat and bones. I really hope nobody can hear that. So again, free-flowing arm bone comes over, because again, this thing is literally nothing but a conglomeration of meat, bones, and plant. And it latches arm to this lower part of, like the lower part of the arm, and it starts to take shape. And Nathan, as a player, what is the first weapon that comes to your brain? Don't even think about it, go.
I don't know.
What? That's why it's the first thing that comes to your brain.
AK-47.
No.
Handgun.
Something, no.
Soviet built this
No,
one.
listen. Something that can exist in this fantasy world.
I guess a club.
Okay, so you watch as this silvery weird substance starts to take shape quickly around the arm bone, and you see the bottom end of it start to expand and get bigger and thicker, and like these ornate symbols start to form, and in no time at all, a club is formed. And it almost kind of pushes itself towards you as if to say, hey, grab me, let's go beat some heads.
All right.
Pick me
Let's beat it. So you now have a club in your possession.
I want whatever this ooze or inkwell thing is.
You
Well,
want to
then
join
why
the
did you
club?
throw it?
Because I thought it.
Okay,
Dang it,
so
you would've turned your spleen into a greatsword or something.
yeah, you probably could have. So back to Kennam and Ears, who is still like furiously kicking in the air and screaming at you to put her back on the deck.
That shit ain't happening.
You're a lot more useful in the cockpit.
Yeah, I'm also a lot more useful if I'm not dead. Or, you know, like a fucking blood pulp on the ground, which is still within reach. So could I please, I am begging you, put me back on the deck.
Fine, if it'll shut you up. Kennam's gonna put her up on the deck.
Okay, where on the deck?
Well, let's see. Where is the cockpit? Because I'm just going to the nearest section of flooring.
Well, the cockpit area is where the hatch is. The hatch is currently being overtaken by a giant Slimera.
Well, then I guess I can't put Ears there.
No, you can't.
Well, then why did you ask?
I don't know. Because if you did put her there, it'd be really funny if you went with it.
As much as I would love to stick Ears in a big pile of slime,
Okay,
I
look.
don't think that's conducive to the
Look,
a bit.
Okay, Kennam, I can see you're really frustrated and you really wanted that little plan of yours to work. But if you roll with me here for a minute, we can still kind of make that work. Just look, you see where Lannon is? And she points over down at the deck where Lannon is currently sort of up against the top of the railing or the front of the railing. She's just like, put me over there. He has my bag and I can help you. Just put me down.
Fine. I put her down. Do I still have an action?
Yeah, you do.
Okay. This Slimera is still against the still up on like the edge, right?
Well, it's kind of always on that. This is a large creature and this platform is not very big, so it's sort of on the edge on either side.
And Lobe's kind of in the center of this thing.
Still swimming in it like it's a Bahama vacation, yes.
Hey, can't do that. Good to know. Let's see. Gray oozes can't be charmed. Oh, what can I do?
Listen, Kennam, if you wait like 2 seconds before you do something that's may or may not eviscerate Lobe, who's still kind of our friend and inside the slime, I can help you. And she looks over to you, Lannon, and she holds out her hand and she says, give me my bag.
Toss it to her.
Okay. And she is, again, fishing around in it, trying to find something. And when she pulls it out, she is holding a very psychedelic-looking crystal. Kennam, you have never seen anything like this in your life. But she is holding it out to you, and she says, all right, if you want to be useful to us, crush this in your hands.
I'm gonna do like a big thunderclap looking crush.
Oh my god. Okay.
I want to.
All right, little dramatic, but that's fine. And you smash this thing into, I guess, a billion pieces. Dust disperses. And Kennam, you suddenly feel this rush of magical energy. You now have basically experienced a short rest till you get some of your spells back.
How many?
Like the same amount you would get from a short rest.
Okay, so that's half. I've got 4 total spells, so... I've got 4 total spell slots I've lost. Wait, I don't know how this... I totally forgot how this works. Hold on. I don't remember how to get...
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
I know I get half of something back. I don't remember if it's half the spells I've lost or half my total spells.
Oh my goodness. Nate, do you have a quick answer?
Arcane Recovery. Once per day, when you finish a short rest, you can choose expended spell slots. Covered. Spell slots can have a combined level equal to or less than half your wizard level.
And you are right now level 4.
So, 2.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to get 2 of my level 2 spell slots back.
I wonder which ones they're going to be.
All right. With that, I'm going to remind everyone I'm invisible to slimes, and instead of taking an action, I'm gonna move to fly as far away from Florence as I can, but
Like-
still staying about 30 feet from the slime.
So, like, kind of up in the air sort of deal?
Like up in the air and off to the side a bit.
I honestly
Okay.
thought you were just gonna shoot a fire blast through the floor into Kevin's mouth. That would have been awesome.
Much better.
That would have taken some damn accuracy.
That would have been much better, but no. I've got this. Alright.
Are you
Okay.
sure?
I can Iron Man this shit up. Let's go.
I'm sorry, what?
You'll see. If you haven't figured it out, you'll see.
I figured it out.
Well, Ear sort of took her turn, and you kind of partially took your turn. So, what do you want to do?
Wait, I only partially took my turn?
Yeah, kind of. You took something from Ears and you smashed it. That was about it. Well,
Well,
you dropped
well,
Ears off, and then you
Oh, I figured that was my move action.
dropping Ears off or smashing a thing.
Dropping ears off.
Well, now tell me what you're gonna do, and maybe it won't be a move action.
Oh, I was
You're
just gonna
following Ghost
I was
Lord
just gonna
right
I
now.
was gonna just blast the thing and have it follow me instead. Because it can't
Oh.
see me, so.
Yeah, I mean, if you just want to shoot it, that's an action.
Alright, I'm a fire. I'm a fire in my
Okay.
laser.
You fire your laser.
Have it roll dex.
Rolling dex. Now, are you smashing the Slimer, or are you smashing the other towering gigantic ooze?
Well, I'd rather not hit Lobe with a big beam of fire.
Lobe
That's-
appreciates it.
So I'm gonna hit the big ooze to try and draw it away from Florence now.
Okay. Well, that's a
Um,
1dd20, so I don't know what the heck that dealio was. Nope, just 1d20, just 1d20. Okay, that's 13.
Yep, nope, doesn't pass. Alright.
So you smash this ooze in the face again.
You were
that
just
deals
searing
10.
away at it.
10 damage to the facial region.
To the facial region, okay. So you smash this thing again, and again the ooze lets out a shriek. And you see the kind of like the pillar that it was using to attach to Florence recoil away. And that's mostly because it's probably gonna attack you with it, but not just yet. We'll get there in a hot poodly second. First, I gotta let Svein do his thing, who's still falling. I just remembered that.
And just-
My bad.
Whoops, I forgot about Spain. Okay, so let's go into bullet time for a second here, because there's a lot of things happening. We have Svein, who has at this point still falling, and we have Kennam, who just again took a pot shot at this ooze's face, and the ooze is now like going to smack it or smack him. We have the Slimera, who again still has Lobe inside of him, and Lannon and Ears just sort of behind it, not sure what to do next. And then quite suddenly, Svein, I'm gonna let you try and save yourself real quick. Roll me acrobatics.
Alright, here goes.
Acrobatics.
We can do it.
10.
Okay, so Svein, you kind of managed to grab one of Florence's arms. So you're not dead, that's good. And now you're sort of clambered up on sort of like one of the gear hitches, so you have like a space to pull yourself up and hold onto, but now you're sort of really low and far away from the battle. What do you want to do?
Gonna get back in there into the scuffle.
Alright, so
try
you're gonna
and
like climb up his arm?
climb up. Yeah.
Alright, make the athletics. Probably in athletics that's gonna take a while. Oh my goodness, you two are chatty Cathy's.
Shh.
I see you scheming down there.
15.
Okay, so you are starting to work your way up the side of Florence to make your way back to the fight. You get about halfway up. If you want, you can do... I guess you could just do another move action to see if you can make it all the way up.
Sure, why not?
That's a 14.
14.
Yeah, so you do manage to, like, climb up to the railing, and you're pulling yourself over. So you are back in the thick of it. Good job. Lannon,
Lannon.
it is now
I'm
your
back,
turn.
guys.
And Ears is by your side again. She looks at you and she's like, wait, where the heck is the... And then she looks at the slime and she sees Lobe with like this really majestic looking club. And she smacks her head and she's like, why did you throw it?
I didn't know what it did.
It was supposed to fix your weapons. You know, a thing that you do? Hit people with weapons?
Oh.
Oh my god.
Lannon doesn't do the smart thing well.
I got that. So, like I said before, Lannon and Lobe, you guys are pretty much in the same proximity and turn order. So if you want to try and do something together, you can.
Tag team wrestling.
Tag team? No, that went so
I'm
bad
in the
last
slime
time.
still, right?
You are still in the slime, yes, but if I don't know if Lobe wants to hang on to this thing, or if you want to try and get it to Lannon so he actually has a weapon.
Sure.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Sure to which one of those things?
get out of the slime and give him the weapon.
Good plan. So Lannon, what do you want to do about this? Like, you see Lobe sort of trying to fight to get out of this slime.
Lannon would probably want to run up and try to pull him out.
Okay, so then why don't you both...
Deck him in the schnoz!
No,
I totally could deck him in the schnoz.
I guess you could if you wanted to.
Lannon doesn't want to, though. Lannon
Okay,
wants
good.
to keep his arms.
So you guys are going to combine your turns. We're going to get Lobe out. Excellent. So I want you then, Lannon, to make me athletics, but I will give you advantage because Lobe is also sort of like trying to work his way out.
Sweet.
Sweet.
15.
That's a 15.
That's a 24.
Delicious 24. Okay. So it takes a little bit, but you sort of stick your hands back in the slime. You grab Lobe's arms, and with a hefty pull, you two fall backwards. Lobe is now out of the slime, kind of awkwardly on top of you. Might get weird for a minute.
Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Yeah.
I spit out ooze. Much better.
So Lobe, you are officially out of the slime. Yay!
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the slime era is not thrilled with this, and now has officially sort of turned itself around to you guys, and is ready to kick some ass. But Lannon, you have... I mean, if you want to, you can, like, shape the weapon now if you want. Like, Lobe is there. He's still holding the club in his hand, the really fancy, intricate club. And,
I do want to grab the weapon, and
oh.
I'm going to use Action Surge.
Oh, God, that's right. You have that.
Yes, I do.
Oh, no.
So, that inkwell thing, I don't know
The
what
thing
the,
that is-
I don't know what the hell
it's-
to call it.
Yeah, the thing that is still on Lobe's sort of bone arm club thing.
Yeah, now it's a battle axe.
Oh, okay. Okay, wait, this is actually a really important question. Do you have those pieces of, like, that quarterstaff?
Yeah.
Okay, just clarifying.
Why wouldn't I have it?
Look, because it broke in half, and I don't know why you would keep the pieces.
Because Lannon's sentimental like
For
that.
such an occasion.
Okay.
For this exact
so-
occasion.
So, Lobe, I assume you do hand the club then over to Lannon so he can do his thing?
Yep.
Okay, so you give it to Lannon, and immediately the silvery essence on the club leaves the club, like, super fast, and it attaches itself to, like, these broken pieces of a quarterstaff, and you watch as it, first and foremost, mends that broken split down the middle, and then it shoots up the side of it to the very top, and it starts curving outward into, like, this glorious, intricately designed battle axe. And Lannon, you have a weapon back now.
Thank fuck. Alright. I'm hitting the damn Slimera in the schnoz.
You hit that Slimera in the schnoz.
Alright. Does a 12 hit?
It doesn't.
Damn it!
So you get really excited, and you're just like, okay, good. Now it's in the right place. But listen, I have to tell you that. And then, like, you're already running forward with this heroic battle cry, and you go to slash it, and it misses. And she's like, it's not magic or special, it's just a battle axe, but okay, that's fine. Just run ahead like an idiot. It's cool.
Action first, questions later.
Okay. Lobe, it is now your turn.
All right. Well, I guess we're gonna go with some spiritual weapon.
I'm excited to see where this is going this time.
We're gonna go with some big old Hulk gloves.
Perfect.
And
Okay.
then he will attempt to deck in the schnoz.
You
Yeah!
definitely got schnoz.
Deck in the sauce.
Now, here's my question. As you deck in the schnoz, are you going to try and grapple this dude again?
Of course.
Okay. I mean, I just have to ask for posterity's sake. All right, roll me that attack.
I just want to verify that I am putting everything in that I'm supposed to. In.
That's why we need macros, y'all. Or real dice.
The,
But then we'd have to do math.
this
We'll be
is
having
why
real
I
dice.
keep my macros. This is why I like Roll20 so much.
Yeah, I mean, dice are
Yeah.
cool. Don't get me wrong, but math.
Yeah, this should be it. Boo.
Ooh, that's a 7. Okay, so you kind of rush forward after Lannon whiffs his attack, and you try and punch the amalgamation of skeletons and plants. And you also miss somehow. Like, it's right there, and you somehow also whip it. And I guess that's the end of that.
Except I
Ears?
have to hit to do the.
Yeah,
I have to
actually,
hit
yeah,
to do the grapple.
to actually do the grapple.
Ooh.
So Ears is watching this display, and then it suddenly occurs to her that the hatch is right behind her. So she is gonna start making a beeline for the hatch. Kennam, it's now your turn. You still have this ooze now kind of at you, and it's actually going to take a swipe at you.
It can't see me.
Well, that 32 begs to differ.
How much damage am I taking?
You're
Well, let's
incorporeal.
see.
You can't take damage. Or at least you shouldn't be able to. Then again, slime magic.
Yeah. You know, slime magic is a thing. Take 10 damage.
Oh, God.
Whew.
And this thing literally like sucker punches you back down to the back of Florence. And I'm just gonna do something real quick. Hold
Here's the
on.
question. Does Kennam actually feel this pain, or does it just be like, oh shit, there goes my arm?
He's
No.
literally hitting your soul. What do you think?
This thing strikes you, and you actually don't feel pain. Now that you say that, you don't.
What?
But you definitely know that it just hit you.
As Kennam like careens through the floor of the cart, he just holds a thumb up and goes, "I'm okay."
Terminator style as he's going down.
Here's the thing. So remember when I said Ears was sprinting towards that hatch?
Is she now getting thrown towards that hatch via
Well,
Kennam?
see, now she's getting hit in the face by a meteorite Kennam, and you two smack into each other and hit the back of the railing. And she's a little dazed at first. She is not looking very awake at this point. She's now gotten slashed by a chimera and now just sort of curb stomped by Kennam. And she very woozily starts, like, grabs the railing and tries to stand. But can't. She slumps back down. She's like, Kennam, what the hell? Where did you come from?
Fell from the sky. How about you?
I got hit by you from the sky, so you know. Going well.
I'm just gonna offer a little fist bump.
So as this all happens, you hear this shriek from the giant ooze. And all of you, don't make that sound. All of you collectively look up at once at this monster that you've been sort of racing alongside, and you watch as the skull itself, like the membrane that surrounds the skull, starts to pull away, and you see sort of this fanged jaw start to open, and this thing rears back and it throws all of its weight down, and it is 100% intent on chomping you all into pieces.
Ew.
Yeah, not a good thing.
Not good. No.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if anyone has a reaction to this, but this thing is like very quickly encroaching your person.
Oh, crap.
I mean, are we able to do our turns now, or?
I mean, you can, like, even if you
Make-
made some sort of dexterity save, like, this mouth just completely encompasses the upper half of Florence. Like, even if you guys somehow got it out of the way, it would still get you.
How close is everybody to me?
Fairly close.
Like, can I get a feet distance?
Feet distance. Okay. Let's see. At this point, you're all up top, so probably about 10 or 15 feet. Pretty much at this point, it's now we're in literal bullet time, in which everyone can try and do something to stop this. But if you don't, like, it's not going to be good. Let's just put it at that.
All right, and we are like close to the skull, right?
At this point, yes, it is encroaching on you because it wants to snap your little vertebrae in half with its giant chompy mouth.
Kennam's gonna look at all you guys, go, well, I'm a fucking ghost already, and he's gonna fly straight at the thing, casting another again as our scorcher, trying to reach the sapling before we, all get eaten.
Okay. Lobe, do you want to do something?
I assume everyone's taking quite a bit of damage at this point, so I will channel divinity to try and heal as much people as we can.
Before, like, the final moments.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Kennam, you go to...
I can get everyone up to at least half their life points, whoever is below such things.
Okay. Svein, do you want to do anything in possibly your final moments? Like, I imagine you just climbed over the railing and now the skull is coming upon your person.
Like, oh, great. Now this. Huh. I'm not sure what I could do.
It's okay. You can just kind of stare in awe or just be real pissed that you just got up here and now you're going to get crunched. While he thinks. Lannon, any last words or things you're going to do?
So, Tom, how's Kennam, like, going? Is he, like, flying straight at the mouth?
As quickly as he can, yeah.
Alright then, would 50 pounds of force help?
Oh my god.
I'm going to attempt to mage hand you even faster towards that damn head.
Oh, Bane's gonna pitch in with his own mage hand.
Oh my god, now we're creating a rocket Kennam. Okay.
Yeah.
I love this. Alright.
We have ignition.
Jesus Christ. Okay. So Kennam, let's line this shot a little bit. You were about to fire off this sort of scorching attack, but now you feel like the hands of your friends pushing you forward, and now you're rocketing straight, like, through the mouth, and you're basically about to encroach on the sapling itself. I don't know if you still want to fire at it or just want to use your fire to give you even more momentum.
Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna get as much momentum as I can. And I'm ramming straight into the sapling. Kennam already thinks he's dead. He's more or less boned already. Boom.
This is some crazy levels of silly.
Boy.
Okay. So, wow. Okay. I guess the only thing I can think of to say is roll me a dexterity of sorts just to see if you actually can grab this thing fast enough and not, I don't know, accidentally rocket past it.
Oh. Okay.
And I'm gonna give you, like, all the advantages because, mother of God, you just became Astro Boy because power of friendship.
Alright. 11. Sure, you can.
Alright. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna paint the scene. So, this giant arcing skull is coming down to basically destroy everything. And Svein, you managed to sort of run past the slime Mara, who's also sort of looking at this, almost stunned, as if somebody pulled away from its cockpit and now it doesn't know how to function properly. And you and Lannon and Lobe all exchange looks, sort of as Ears is slumped over on this railing looking up and thinking to herself, well, I guess this is one way to die. Wasn't thinking it was going to be this way, but oh well. But all three of you exchange looks, and as Lobe sort of sends out this healing, inspirational energy, you, Svein, and you, Lannon, just kind of put your hands together, and as your hand glows, Svein, and your rings glow, Lannon, this giant blue hand suddenly appears in the sky, cups itself around Kev. Oh my god, see? So many names. Too many names. It goes around Kennam, who at this point was just going to make a fucking kamikaze attempt at the sapling. So Kennam, as you're doing this and as you're charging up this fire attack, you feel something sort of catch you. And you look down and you see this giant mage hand. And then you feel your brain hit the back of your head as you are suddenly now rocketing up past the teeth and towards the sapling. And you know what? Just to add, you just think to yourself, you know what? Let's just add insult to injury. Throw that fiery beam behind you, and now you are just a blur. Like, you don't even see what is going on in the skull. You are moving so fast. And regardless of how fast you're moving, you do manage to catch a quick glimpse of this sapling-looking thing inside of, like, encased in slime, and you wrap your hands so tight around it and don't let go. Like, this is like a football player just holding on to your life and just running to the end zone. That is you right now. And you shoot out the back of this slime's skull, this monster skull, and then you shoot through the thick membrane, and you don't stop for a bit. Like, you climb quite high into the atmosphere. And you guys don't see Kennam anymore. He's just like a ding in the sky.
Team
But
Rocket's blasting off again.
And as you're climbing in the sky, Kennam, you see that the bits of gray ooze are just peeling off of this sapling. And soon enough, it's just all kind of like pooling around your hands. And you finally start to come to a descent in speed. You start to slow down. And you're just kind of free floating in the air, and in your hands, in your gooey, oozy hands, is a green sapling. Now, the next part, unfortunately, you sort of see from a bird's eye view, but the rest of you experience hands-on, because now, like, the minute he shot through the back of this monster's head, the entire giant ooze froze. Just completely stopped in place. Like, Florence kind of slingshot, like, had to skid to a stop because it stopped so fast. And you all watch as this giant, monstrous force, like, the thing that pretty much was taking you to town and you had been under the mercy of for about 12 hours, I think is what I said, start to just collapse. Bits of gray ooze, like, just start running off of the side. First, it all starts peeling off of the skull, and then the rest of it follows suit. It just all sort of splashes into this giant puddle of gray ooze, which sort of turns into this tidal wave of ooze, and it's coming right at you guys. And by you guys, I mean everyone who's on floors.
Oh.
But
Too, sorry.
But before you guys sort of just get swept away by this gray ooze tidal wave, you feel Florence stiffen, and you hear something crackle around Irsa's neck. Like, she has this necklace of crystals, and one of them starts to crackle, and you hear a voice inside say, "You guys better hold on to a rail, because this is about to get crazy."
Holding on.
Yeah, which I assume you all do.
Brace for impact.
And as you all grab, you are suddenly just catapulted into the air. Like, Florence is doing this crazy barrel rolls technique, and he's just like darting this way and that, like things that on autopilot there is no way he could do. But you are just like, he's just dodging this onslaught of slime, and he pulls back farther and farther until finally the tidal wave sort of subsides, and it's just this very still standing, I guess pool is a good way to put it, but just this pool of gray ooze. And Ears kind of comes to a bit, and she rubs her head and she's like, did I just dream that we did a backflip? What just happened?
I'm not quite sure.
I have a feeling.
Yeah, so you hear the necklace around her crackle again, and you hear this same familiar voice say, yeah, did you like that? It was pretty good for someone who literally just woke up and has no idea what's going on.
Winslow, you are a badass.
And I know I said that this was probably going to be the last episode, but I think we have to cut it off there because there's one more thing you guys have to take care of. But we're going to leave it on that epic note, I think.